Y'all hear about like people like, I don't know if it's the CDC or is saying it, but they're like shave beards because they can hold the germs, you know.
I'm not shaving mine.
I'm not either.
Like, wait. Does this have to do with the coronavirus?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the issue.
Yeah.
Just guys having beards.
Yeah. There's, I guess, just more. I heard from somebody else who heard from somebody else, so I know nothing. But
what if that becomes a thing? Like people start running through the streets, attacking people with beards and holding them down and shaving it off.
I saw a beard company, like a company that makes beard oils.
Beard company.
I mean, a beard product company, beard care company. They were like, don't shave, just wash, and they're like promoting their like beard washing products. I was like, I see you guys. Marketing.
Pretty smooth move.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today?
Turtles. Are they real?
I just saw that a guy found a frozen snapping turtle in a lake. Like a frozen lake, too. It wasn't, this turtle wasn't just frozen.
This turtle was frozen in a normal lake.
That's it. That's all I got. I read the headline and just kept swiping.
I've heard in Florida, when it does get cold enough, and you probably know about this because you know things about Florida.
The iguanas die.
Well, yes, but the alligators, when they know that the water is about to freeze, they'll stick their noses out of the water.
Oh, I have heard that.
And like so they could breathe. You don't know nothing about alligators.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, but did you hear about that when the iguanas were freezing? Like
No.
if it gets below a certain temperature, apparently they just die. And these iguanas were like freezing.
And then coming back to life.
That's what I was going to say.
No, like I saw Craigslist ads where people were like getting them and like butchering them, like filleting the iguanas. And there's like dishes that they use iguana
Craigslist
meat.
ad?
Yep.
What are they
like
selling?
People were literally the iguana meat. Like not to like meet the iguana.
I want to meet them over there.
Iguana meetups. No, like they were literally selling iguana meat.
I hate that you said that.
Like filleted iguana meat. Me?
No, him.
What did he say?
What's the joke you just made?
I want to meet over there.
I hate you. I hate that. I don't know why. I just hate it.
Just love it.
Yep.
Hey guys, you been good today?
It's been a long day, man. I'm just kind of like, I did have a topic for the Casual Friday. You kind of hit on it because I was just going to say, let's talk about coronavirus.
All right.
How about this? I know nothing about it. Yeah. I don't know about you guys. So let's say everything we know about it or what we think it is.
What we think it is?
Okay, so I've heard
making stuff up?
These are things I've
fun.
heard. Let's tell you if you've heard this. That it's not even as bad as the flu.
I've heard things along those lines.
Have you heard that statement?
I've heard that
from people who I just think aren't worried about it. I haven't heard it from like any official or any like point of authority.
What's crazy to me is if like health official organizations like WHO and CDC are saying the best defense against the spread of coronavirus is washing your hands. To me, that just is like, ain't that big of a deal.
Why are people dying from this?
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Because they're old and their immune systems are weak. Not necessarily old. If they're in some sort of a situation where their immune systems are already weak. The thing is, unless you watch the news in depth, they might talk about it. But if you're like a headline type person, you're seeing like 6 dead in Washington State. You're not seeing 6 dead in Washington State who were already, had some other sort of health complications or were elderly.
So you're on the record. You know this is why.
Yes.
All right.
I don't know. I'm not.
I literally don't know anything about it. I just traveled back from Israel and Istanbul, and like half the people were wearing masks and gloves.
Well, I do know that it's not new. The coronavirus has been around. This is just a new strain.
Yeah.
Strain 19 or something like that.
So this is another thing I've heard. I've heard that it's possible that this was created in a lab for the purpose of like biochemical warfare. Have you heard that?
No, I haven't heard that. I've heard
You
that
have?
it was because of like dirty fish in Wuhan.
Oh, I've never. Nah, I didn't hear that.
Sounds like the name of a novel. Dirty fish in Wuhan.
So that's where it started, right? Mm-hmm. That's where like the outbreak began. They say, and it was in like a food market, which, you know, if you're at all aware of what food markets are, especially in Asia, it's usually like these, just going off what I've seen, I've not been in any, but they're usually like these real heavily populated, a lot of people moving around, a lot of open air foods, like, you know, a lot of place, like it's really a place where I feel like bacteria could like call it a theme park.
I just think it's one of those things that it's important to take precautions, because if everybody's just like, oh, it's just like the cold, I feel like that's when things get out of hand. Because even I saw an article on Google News, and I only read one of them. I saw two of them. And one of them said that Twitter sent all their employees home to work from home, or I guess a big some of them, what am I trying to say? Most of them. And then I saw another article that said Canon like shut down like 5 of their, but I don't know if that's confirmed or not.
Right. So a lot of those things, a lot of different company related things have been affected. I just read this morning that Google's developer conference, I/O.
Yeah, they canceled that.
They canceled I/O 2020. There was maybe Facebook, I believe, F8, I think is their developer conference. That was canceled as well. A lot of companies are suspending travel, various things like that. They're, you know, sending different people home. There's like, I did hear about the Canon thing.
Okay.
We might have heard it from the same source. I'm not sure. There's another company that makes cameras that I can't recall offhand what the name of it is, but they are a much smaller camera company, and they had to shut down like their only factory or something like that.
Yeah, I was supposed to go to Seattle next month.
There's actually some.
That's like the hot spot in America right now,
Washington
isn't it?
Right.
State.
So my team lead comes to me and she's like, "Yeah, we're not going anymore." And I was like, "Great." I didn't really.
All right.
Yeah.
I got some live coronavirus stats.
What I want to know is
That's disrespectful.
how many people
excited.
how many people have survived? Because
That's what I'm about to tell you. That's
perfect.
what this is
Read it.
for.
Thank you.
All right. You ready?
Because that's what the news doesn't tell you.
So there are on record 95,180 coronavirus cases. I can view by country. We'll get there
Is
in a
that
second.
like this specific?
This is
strain?
as of March 4th, 2020. And I'm guessing, yes, started January 22nd. These stats.
Okay.
So 95,000 cases. There have been 3,000 deaths, 51,400 completely recovered, and there are 40,400 active cases.
You said 90-something thousand?
Yep. 95,000 total, 3,000 deaths, 51,000 recovered. Of the active cases, which there's a little over 40,000, 83% of them are mild condition. 17% of them, almost 7,000, are serious or critical condition. 94% of the closed cases are recovered. 6% are deaths. And let's see by country. So of the 90,000 cases, 95,000 cases, 80,200 of them are China.
Wow.
5,600 Korea, 3,000 Italy, almost 3,000 Iran. USA has 154 cases, 11 deaths, 134 active cases. So we're fresh. 9 recovered, 8 in serious or critical condition.
Does it break down like demographics of those people at all?
Not here. So yeah, 95,000 cases, 3,000 deaths, 51,000 recovered, 40,000 active cases. 83% of those are mild condition, 17%
So that's
serious.
like almost 60% that have.
So of the closed cases, it looks like you got about a 6% chance of dying.
Hey. That's better than what I thought.
That's better. Okay. I was like, where is that?
But I didn't really know what to think. But you said people the people that have died are old and have like bad immune systems?
Well, that's probably not the case
Okay,
for all.
I got the answers right
There we
here.
go.
That's,
So,
I think, the most common situation.
the death rate climbs as you get older. Okay, so if you're 10 to 19 years old, you have a 0.2% chance of dying. That stays the same up until 40 years old. It goes to 0.4%. Yeah, so we're good. 50 to 59 years old, you have a 1.3% chance. That's the death rate. 60 to 69 is 3.6. 70 to 79 is 8%. And then 80 years plus is 14.8%.
And if you're 200, just jump off of a bridge.
If you're 200 years old,
Of the
can they even jump?
confirmed deaths, 22% of them were 80 years or older.
How many? 22%?
22%. If you're a male, you have almost a 5% chance of dying. Female, 3%. Pre-existing medical conditions. Comorbidities. I cannot say that. I mean, if you got cardiovascular disease, you got a 14% chance, almost 14. Diabetes, 10%. Respiratory, 8%.
I heard that heart
Hypertension,
failure
8%.
was like a major component that was killing people.
So
with it.
definitely age is like the biggest factor
Hey, we're
that
good.
affects
I think pneumonia
fatality
as
rate.
well.
So what you're telling us is we don't have to wash our hands anymore.
Let's
We're
go
good.
with China. No?
I'm good.
All right.
Maybe later. We were at the airport and they asked my dad, they were like, of course, you're going through it at every station. They're like, have you been to China recently? Have you been this? Do you have any sort of symptoms? Yeah, they're asking everything.
I'm like,
And
he's lying.
They asked they asked my dad. The one guy was like, have you been to China? And he very general. So my dad answered it very general. He's like, yeah. It was like 20 years ago. And I was like, just say no.
He says, and like
just say no. They
20-minute white coats come out. The alarm goes
2319,
Yeah.
Monsters
Monsters
Inc.
Inc.
2319.
Dad's got a
that's
sock
funny.
on his back.
I've heard that the 2319, 23, like the 23rd letter is W and the 19th letter is S, and it stands for white sock. Because when he turns around, there's a white sock on his back.
Is that one of those like Pixar like
I don't
conspiracy
know.
theories?
I said that to somebody one time, and they were like, "Yeah," but then they had some sort of counter, and I was like, "Oh yeah, maybe not." But
Interesting. This makes me want to watch that movie Outbreak. Remember that movie with the monkey and the disease spreads? I think Morgan Freeman's in it.
what was that?
It's a really good movie.
You made me think of Quarantine, though, when you said Outbreak.
Great movie.
What's Quarantine?
It's like that disease like breaks out in an apartment building.
And they just shut them all down, and people are like turning into zombie type things.
Yeah.
First
That's a
time I
good
watched it.
movie.
That is a
Remember
good movie.
That was like one of the most exciting movie experiences
We
I've
used to
ever
like
had.
have like movie nights with like when we would make new friends and we would have them over to watch that movie.
That sounds so funny to me.
It was kind of funny.
we
It
have
tortured
to,
other people.
We have to go see 1917.
Isn't it already out of the theaters probably by now?
It's at
dog.
Alamo.
Ooh, let's go.
Right now.
All right, see y'all. Me and my wife went there yesterday, and we saw The Invisible Man.
Is that good?
Actually, yes.
Because I was on the fence.
Very well done. It was one of those movies I didn't have much faith in.
Yeah.
So the whole time I was skeptical.
It doesn't have anything to do with Hollow Man, right?
No.
Okay.
It did remind me of that.
Yeah,
though.
that's what I
No,
always
and
get.
the slant they took on is very modern slant. It's kind of believable.
Really?
Very well done. Like, there's twists. There's one of my biggest things was like, obviously the guy's invisible. So when the revelation that the guy is invisible, when she starts noticing, there's little things that happen, like her cover gets pulled off her bed and she's like fighting. And she can see like imprints on the cover, things like that. Like, and when that started, I was like, oh, great. Like, I thought like this was it. This is going to be the movie. Like, scary invisible guy things happening. but they get through that very quickly. And the movie's like over 2 hours long, and it needed to be. And the way they did it, the pace was good. So it was like, I was like, that's what I was expecting. Like, here we go. It's going to be cheap jump scares and like creepy, invisible things happening.
Here's the question.
Like, I thought like that's what they're going to lean in on. That's what this movie is going to be. But they took it beyond that, and then took it beyond that, and then there was like 3 or 4 like folds.
I really
that
wish
I
in the trailer that they didn't let you know that he was actually invisible, because the first version that I saw, I was like, is she crazy? Then they started dropping other trailers where like, I think one time she threw paint on him and you could see him or something like that.
So that was a cool element in the movie.
It looks like a golf ball.
That when they throw the paint on him, yeah. But that was a cool element of the movie, is how they showed, everybody is reacting to her like she's seeing things, like she's crazy. But as the viewer, it's kind of like watching Changeling. Remember Changeling with what's her name?
Angelina Jolie.
Or
Flight Plan.
And she goes into the
Flight Plan, Jodie Foster.
Yeah, she goes into the psych ward.
There's a new one that's like that too. I can't remember what it is.
She gets put in unjustly, like she's not crazy, but they had the authority and the power, and they said she was, and they put her in there. Remember, she's in there, and the lady's like, "You can't say you're not crazy. That's what makes you look crazy. Like, you literally just have to go with it."
That was a great movie.
Yeah, great. But there's kind of like an element to that in this movie. But yeah, I thought it might have been one of those movies that I had low expectations for, and I need to see it again before I hype it too much. But I really liked it.
I want to know, so you have 2 kids that are basically both now toddlers, and your life's kind of hectic. So you going to see a movie is not a common thing, or not an easy thing necessarily. What made you choose, I almost said Hollow Man, The Invisible Man? Because
I love like thriller. I wouldn't even call this movie like a horror movie. It's not a horror movie.
Like suspense?
It's more like a suspense thriller type thing. There's no, I don't know, there is some gore in it now that I'm thinking about it. But the reason I picked that is because there's a lot of movies I can just watch in the house. It doesn't matter if, Malin's up playing or whatever. There's just certain movies you don't want to watch when your kids are around. And I love suspense horror movies.
So you made the plan to see that because you saw like a trailer or something before you got to the theater, or before you were planning to see a movie? Was that a
I saw the trailer probably a long time ago. So I literally, it was just one of the only things that looked interesting to me. And I was like, yeah, because I can't watch this movie,
right,
at my house most of the time. So this will be perfect.
Cough drop.
So coronavirus, don't get it.
Or you'll turn invisible, man.
Especially if you're 80 years old.
And invisible.
We just want to inform the people. And we know nothing, so go to the CDC's website.
We want to tell you what you need to know that we don't know.
We're clueless. Y'all want to go? Y'all want to go to this meeting?
Sure.
Let's just do it.
Thank you for watching or listening.
Why? Don't thank them.
All right. I wish you wouldn't.
I'm not grateful.
I wish
at
you
all.
wouldn't have listened to this or watched this.
Good night.
Oh, you did it again.
I said good night, not the other thing.
Cheeseburger.